great. It's June 3rd, and I'm 2 days away from the finals, from the exams. And truth be told, I'm not that scared. But I'm still gonna work my very, very best because that is how it's supposed to go. Anyway, uh, um, my experience at school today is actually pretty great. Um, you know, um, I still don't see Mary anywhere. No, she's actually, and now that I know where she sits, I know that she's absent. She's somehow sick again, and yeah. But Caroline was there all the time. No, the main point is that me and Oliver, Ernest, Ronald, and Leo, Pink, and Natalie, we are pretty close to each other. We are actually being really friendly to each other. We're talking really happily, and I feel like I'm on the same level with them. I'm not feeling left out anymore. I mean, of course, I'm still not super duper famous. I'm still not super duper popular, but I'm just hanging out. I'm just chilling. And um, Topher just executed his worst and quite possibly the worst strategy that I've ever seen. Me and Topher had been fighting for a while now, and he hates me. I hate him, and he thought that Nick is my only friend, so he decided to get lunch with Nick. And that is a stupid strategy because now he's focusing on getting one more ally. Meanwhile, I'm focusing on getting seven more allies, and I'm on the upper hand still because Nick is still closer to me than Topher. So Topher just did an oopsie, and the funny thing is that he doesn't even know that he did an oopsie. So yeah, I have experienced quite a few wars and battles before, so I'm kind of familiar with the strategies and all. And I can really tell that Topher is really trying so hard to steal my friend and just defeat me. And I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying that hard, and I'm already on the upper hand because I got experience. So I'm all good. I'm all good. Anyway, I kind of want to study some chemistry today, as well as some Chinese, as always, because this is the toughest subject, and also some LS, Liberal Studies, aka the essay writing exam, because we're gonna have to take that exam a couple days later. So, yeah. Anyway, also, supposedly, uh, me and the drama club fellows were gonna have a pizza party today lunch. Turns out it's postponed. So I stayed at school and I ran around, and turns out it's postponed to tomorrow. So I ASAP, ASAP, immediately ran out of the school, bought myself some dumplings, went back, and had food back at the classroom, and it's all good. It's all good. I'm all good. So yeah, okay. It's June 4th. It's a big day. It's a scary day. It's 30 years since the incident had happened. You know what I'm talking about, and it's still stirring people's hearts, and it's just really sad. But also, what's really sad is that there's one day left until the finals, the finals, the ultimate finals, my 10th finals, the final exams. Okay, first of all, I got another paper cut for some reason. I put a band aid over it because I don't want any more sharp objects to worsen the wound. Also, I'm gonna have the LS exam tomorrow, which is liberal studies, which is essentially an exam about writing essays. Yeah, writing essays and in a limited amount of time. And the scariest thing about these kind of exams is that you'd run out of time before you could finish up all your points. And yeah. And then a couple days from now, we're going to have the Chinese exam, which is even more scary. Actually, that's the scariest exam. So tonight, it's 8:37 p.m. right now. Tonight, I'm going to spend the rest of the day revising Chinese and LS. So I'm gonna study LS until 9:15, and then I'm gonna move on to studying the Chinese stuffs. Yeah, the Chinese stuffs. So I just realized that I forgot, or more like I lost a textbook, a Chinese textbook, and that's really bad news. Fortunately, I have this where I can also read, also study from the same passage, except it's way harder to study this way because the passage originally in the textbook is only 3 pages long, but this one is 12 pages long. It goes from here to here. And we have finally reached the end. Is this the end? Yep, it's the end. This is Taoism. This is Confucianism. Choose one. So it is currently 12:51 a.m. midnight on June 5th, and I wrapped up on my revision. And then for my next 16 days, it's gonna be the exam period. It's gonna be the exam cycle. The next 16. Well, actually, technically 15, because it's already June 5th today. But yeah, anyway, hopefully, I do well tomorrow. So, currently, it's 3:22 p.m. on June 5th, and it's the first day out of the 16 days of the finals. That's it, folks. One of the biggest exams of my life is currently happening right now, and it is not to be ignored. So today we had the LS exam, starting off the exam cycle with a whimper, which is pretty great because I was totally not in the exam mood. I was totally not in the exam mode, the aggressive exam mode before the LS exam. So I was kind of happy that it just started off with a rather simple and mellow exam. That being said, the most challenging thing about the LS exam is time. In my opinion, it's time, and also how many points can you write? Because LS is essentially a subject about essay writing. We learn about all this extraneous, irrelevant stuff during LS class, but in the exam, we had to do essays. Today, I had written like 9 essays. So yes, LS is LS. Well, the LS exam is about essay writing, and they give us. So we had to do 2 LS exams today. LS 1 from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. and then LS 2 from 11:15 to 12:45 afternoon. So altogether, it's 3.5 hours, and we had to write 9 essays. And I kept holding my pen until the last second. That was insane. Well, it's a hyperbole. All right, I did like put down my pen for like a few seconds because I needed to correct my stuff. But yeah, still, for the majority of the time, I was holding my pen, and my right hand feels kind of sore. So this is about the size of an essay. So let's say this page and the page behind it, which is this page, is one essay altogether. One essay. And I wrote 9 of these, so that's pretty crazy. Actually, to be fair, some essays are shorter, some are longer. Some of them are just half a page long. And because it's about trends. We look at a chart and we describe them. And I messed something up. I forgot to calculate the percentage change, but because I didn't do that, I had the time to finish the whole paper. For LS1, they give us 2 hours and we need to finish 7 essays as fast as possible. For the second one, it's more cognitive. They give us 1.5 hours to finish 2 essays. Yeah, so there's the trend question, which is the shortest one. Usually, for like the I don't know, friggin' the concerns essay. Sometimes they would present you this, they would show you this socio-political problem, whatever, and they will ask you, what are the 2 major concerns of this thing, this problem? What are the 2 major negative impacts? And usually for questions like this, I would write for 1 page, 1 A4 paper, and then there are these big questions. Do you agree with this statement? What factor do you think is the most important factor when it comes to solving this problem, this socio-political problem? Then usually I would write for 1.5 pages or 2 pages, and for the last essay, I wrote for 2.5 pages, and not this. And for paper 2, we are given a different type of paper because this is the serious paper. Okay, this is the brainy paper, and this is the paper that doesn't restrain you or anything. So you can add paper here. So they give us a paper like this. It's you can write way more words here, and I wrote 2.5 pages of this, and man, it was pretty fantastic, actually, because in the very morning I was really sleepy. I almost fell asleep while doing the exam, but for paper 2, I lit a fire under my skin, and I just wrote as fast as possible. I spent like 7 minutes at the beginning of the exam just thinking about how should I do this question, the whole plan for the essay. And then I realized that I didn't really have enough time left, so I just wrote very, very quickly. For my second last essay, I wrote 1.5 pages, and for my very last essay, I wrote 2.5 pages, so it's altogether 4 pages. And it's pretty amazing. I made sure that every point, every paragraph contains one of the according to source, because they would present you these sources like this, like these charts and all. These are sources. These are also sources. They would give you these kind of articles and all that. So I would refer to these sources on every paragraph. I would also raise some examples on every paragraph. I made sure I hit these key points and decorate my essay with these keywords. And yeah, I'm just killing it, man. 3 points and 1 counter argument, so it's 3 plus 1. And for my last essay, it was 12 marks, so it was kind of huge, and I finished it on time. And the last question was the question for the last essay was actually really weird, because I never encountered a question like this before. But yeah, I somehow figured out how to do it, and I tried my best, and I'm actually really happy that I tried my best. Yeah. Yeah, even though I don't think I will do that greatly in LS, I think it's not gonna be that bad, right? So anyway, right now it's 3:32 p.m. and I have around 8.5 hours until midnight, and I will do everything in my power to study Chinese and maybe a little English, because tomorrow we also have English listening and integration exam, but that's, that's nothing compared to Chinese exam, which is my biggest enemy, and it happens tomorrow. It's scary. I'm scared. I'm scared. This is already my 10th exam, in high school, and Chinese exam. The paper one of Chinese never fails to scare me because it's just so unpredictable. It's 6:15 and I can't concentrate. And I really want to sleep too, so I don't know, man. I don't want this. I don't want this. It's just the first day and I'm already feeling frustrated. Okay, it's 12:38 after midnight. I gotta sleep now. I cannot study any further. I've studied the whole day. Uh Even though if I were to be honest, I did watch YouTube videos and listen to music and walk around and eat, so I didn't actually study for the whole day, which is actually kind of worrying because I feel like I'm not working hard enough. I feel like I should be working even harder. I should be studying even harder, okay? But, I can't do anything now. So yeah. So, Chinese. Fucking Chinese, man. It's just, messed up. Chinese is messed up. The Chinese exam. Messed up. And, I'm just gonna try and memorize some of the most important parts, in one take. Okay? Okay. Let's do it. It's currently 3:06 p.m. on June 6th. And you know what that means? That means it's the second day of the exam, and it's Chinese reading, the scariest exam paper ever, and English listening and integration. So we start off with Chinese, and as always, I'm not an expert in Chinese, in the Chinese language. It is a tough language, and not for the reasons that you're thinking of right now. Anyway, that's beside of the question. I did the Chinese thing, and they give us 1.5 hours, not 2 hours. I was scammed. I thought we got 2 hours, and I was like pretty confident, like time-wise, that I would finish the paper in time. Turns out it's 1.5 hours, and I barely finished the paper. Barely. I was still holding my pen at the last second, and it was really risky. It was really scary. So that's in my mind. I planned, because the paper has 3 parts. I planned to have to do part 1 in 20 minutes, part 2 in 50 minutes, and part 3 in 20 minutes. So I'll do part 1 first, and then 3, and then part 2. For part 1, we have to answer questions, trivial questions about the passages, the classical Chinese passages that we have studied. And we are told to study 8 passages, including 3 poems from the Tang Dynasty, and That's actually the easiest part. The worst part is the friggin' West Mountain. Friggin' West Mountain Passage. Oh, that one sucks. Also, the one with the tower. There's this tower in Sichuan, and right now it's in Sichuan. Before it's not called that, of course. And if and some people climb the tower, and the weather's pretty bad. And it was raining a little bit, and the moon is covered for months, and you know, the wind is really strong, and the waves of the sea are scary. I realized that it's actually way harder to memorize something in English. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about the language. It's easier than I thought. Okay, part one is actually pretty straightforward. Maybe it's because I studied enough, so I didn't really have any huge difficulties trying to answer those questions, even though I'm not super duper familiar with all of the passages. There's this huge 6 mark worth question talking about how this one why this person is smart, and it's 6 marks, so I have to write 3 points, and at the end I did come up with 3 points, and yeah. And then we move on to part 3, where it's a little confusing because they also give us a classical Chinese passage. And nowadays nobody speaks or writes in classical Chinese. Nobody speaks classical Chinese anyway. It's a written thing, and it's usually very confusing, because usually I don't understand what it's trying to say at all. But this time I do kind of understand what it's trying to say. It's the concept is a little clearer, and I do not have any huge difficulties doing those questions too. And then for the second part, they give us a normal Chinese passage that's huge, and it's pretty complicated, pretty weird, pretty outlandish as well. But yeah, I tried. That's what matters. At the end, I got like 2 minutes left, and there's this 5 mark worth question, a question that worths 5 marks, and it's a huge question. It's asking us what does this item symbolize, and I have no idea, but I took a leap of faith, I guessed, and that's all I could do. I couldn't have done any better. And then afterwards, it's the English. And then afterwards, it's the English listening and integration exam. And it's actually more difficult than I thought. People speak faster, but it's English, so I don't have a problem with it at all. Except for one fill in the blank question, where I just kind of, missed. I don't know if it's a thing. Listening exam. It's not a thing in the USA. Am I right? Well, it's a thing in Hong Kong. They play us a recording in the school hall in front of the entire form, and we do the paper simultaneously, spontaneously. So yeah, we did the thing, and then afterwards they give us 1 hour and 15 minutes to finish 3 tasks, and the 3 tasks are writing a notice, writing an email, and then writing a reply to a letter of complaint. So they give us this data file, yeah. So and there are all these different sources in the file, different posters, notes, other emails, and you know, we read from the file and we integrate from all these different info and we put them all together in 3 different tasks. And I finished them all on time. I forgot to write a couple of points, which I'm pretty, I guess, unhappy about, but whatever, man. Whatever. So yeah, overall, so far, I'm pretty satisfied with my performance in the exams. Nothing all that detrimental yet, but 4 days later, we're gonna have the Chinese writing and English writing exam, which shouldn't be a huge challenge. The challenge is actually on the next exam day, which is Chinese listening and integration exam, which is incredibly tough. And then for the next week, we have physics, biology, chemistry together in 3 consecutive days, which actually means death, especially when you're putting the easiest of the 3 at first, then the second, and the toughest in the middle of the week. The people are trying to kill us, man. The people are trying to kill us. Chemistry is the toughest of the 3 science subjects, and they had to put it last. It's like it's just getting harder and harder. So, yeah, it sucks. It sucks. But in the meantime, I'm free today, I'm free tomorrow, I'm free on the day after tomorrow. But yeah, whatever the case may be, I can take a rest now. I will do my album reviews. I will spend some time rewriting my short film script, as well as Game of Thrones Season 8 fan fiction. Actually, Seasons 8 and 9. I'm gonna add another season, because, you know. Okay, so I forgot to talk about a few things. Yeah. Okay. Also, I forgot to talk about a few things happened after the exam. So I was gonna leave with Potato Gang, but at the end I kinda left with Natalie, technically, because I lent my earphones to her, because she has to take the English listening exam in a special room, because apparently she has some sort of hearing problems, like minor hearing problems, but you know, you get the idea. Okay, it's June 8th right now. It's your boy right here, and today I'll be finishing some mathematics past paper. Yeah, so I finished this page as well. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I finished this page. Have I finished the next page? I finished this question, so there's that. And I'll do 10 right now. This is the equation of the circle, and what? Okay, so A is the center of the circle C, and the center is actually really easy to find, because the x coordinate is -8 divided by -2, so it's 4, and then for the y it's 3, so it's 4, 3. And then for part B1, and then we have a new point B, and it's 6, -1. And then we have P, which is moving point, so it's a locus. Actually, to be fair, once we find all 4 of the coordinates of these 4 points, we can actually just calculate the areas of both the triangles with Heron's formula. But it's a little too complicated for a question worth 3 marks, so I may have to reconsider a new way. Okay, this is so dumb. Okay, come on, man, you can do it, man. I've never done this in years, by the way. The last time I've done it might be elementary school, might be 7th grade, might be 8th grade, but you know, you just twist the thing and break it, because that's how life works, and oh boy, it's broken. It's about to be 1:30 a.m. and I have some isomers up my ass. Oh boy. Oh boy, look at these isomers, cis-trans isomers. I love it. I love me some isomers. Oh look, cis isomers, they have a greater range between the boiling and melting points, but for trans, not so lucky. This one doesn't. Oh, okay. Well, you learn something new every day. Oh, look. Anyone here who had watched Breaking Bad knows that Walter White kind of talks about this on one of the episodes, one of the scenes, chiral carbons. What? Oh hey, next chapter. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna show you this. There's this page. So platinum actually breaks the carbon double bond, so it actually you know, alkene to alkane, and this is all the other stuffs. Okay, right now it's friggin' okay, I can't check it. I think it's June 9th. A huge protest, a huge march is happening right now in the not the central district, around, yeah, it's happening in Hong Kong, and it's this huge thing. A lot of people are marching on the streets right now because the Hong Kong government the Hong Kong government wants to pass this bill where they could send criminals back to mainland China, not back, just to mainland China, and 99% of those criminals may as well get sentenced with death in mainland China, which is really unfair, and it really undermines the autonomy of Hong Kong. And yeah, but I don't want to get political. I just spent like 1.5 hours just surfing YouTube, and I feel like a total loser because I'm in a fucking exam period right now. I'm not supposed to, be all free and stuff. So, you know what? Right now it's about to be 6 p.m. and I still have 7 hours until I sleep. Actually 8, but let's make it a 7 because I need to eat dinner. So yeah, 7 hours. So let's split it up. 4 hours of biology and 2 hours of physics and maybe 1 hour of anything extra. Maybe a little maths, maybe a little chemistry, maybe a little Chinese if I have time. And yeah, I will definitely not make it that long though. Like, I'm gonna try my best to just, study as hard as possible. But, chances are I'm gonna be distracted by YouTube or some notifications or something. But yeah, I'll try. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Alright, what up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're gonna talk about ecosystems again, because it's important. Actually, we're gonna focus on these 2 cycles, because that's all I need to revise today. Actually, I'm kidding. I need to revise way much more, but these 2 are really important because I forgot them all. So this can exhale gas, which contains carbon dioxide, and which then, goes directly to the atmosphere. The animal also grass, grass gas. Also, yeah, this is the transformer. Provides carbon dioxide, and occurs into the atmosphere because lens of the magnetic respiration, induced magnetic pole on the other side, induced current, and boom, a magnet is traveling towards and a solenoid. Then this will happen because it's trying to repulse against let's talk a little bit about physics as well. You know, we got the Ohm's law, V equals IR, which is really important. The resistivity, a formula, and also the other formula about power. I think it's not here. This is the okay. I think this is How the fuck did I even get 11 out of 25? That's so bullshit, man. Okay, we'll go through it. Okay, first question. I fucked up big time. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh shit. Right. Oh shit. Right. Oh no. I messed up. 5 out of 14. Oh my gosh. This is so bad. This 9 out of 9. Very good. Happy face. With one eye. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, I just can't focus at all. I just can't. Meanwhile, I got 10 out of 20. Like, what the heck is this even? Like, okay, I got this right, but I messed up the tree. You know, I messed it up. Apparently, a human is supposed to be on this side because it's supposed to be, I think, the farthest from the ancestor. So it's about to be 12:30 right now, and so it's technically June 10th, and I just watched an episode of One Punch Man, and I'm just totally not in the mood for revision. So I have no idea, man. I just don't know. I'm just not in the mood for revising biology or any subject. So yeah, a huge protest is currently happening right now in Hong Kong. Meanwhile, I'm staying at my home. Anyway, I realized that the best way to start off a good revision is to actually tidy up. So this is all the stuffs that we're testing in biology. This is chapter 15, and then we got a 16, and then we got a 17, and then we got 18, and then it's 19, and then it's 20, and then the entire book right here, you know, 21, 22, yada yada, until 30, and this is the extra stuff. I finally cleared out this area, and okay, also the Game of Thrones mug. I still hadn't had time to, you know, use it.